Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we're here to showcase the best dribble moves for low ball handle builds in NBA 2K25. Now just to clarify, this is mostly going to be for guards out there that have somewhere between, I would say, 80 ball handle and 86. Most particularly, if you guys have been on the channel, most recently we've been talking about my boy Bonnie and Apollo's builds that both have exactly 86 and 81 ball handle. And these are the type of SIGs that you're going to be able to find if you were creating something like that, or if you already have something like that as well as us talking about certain hop jumpers and stuff like that that you can really utilize as far as being able to move well. And the reason I say this is because it is so expensive to have a high ball handle on your guard build, and it really can allow you, if you are able to move with an 81 or an 86 ball handle in this game, to actually be so two-way built. Like, you could be a lockdown with 81 ball handle, 86 speed of ball, and absolutely be able to move good on offense and be an elite defender on the other end as well, as long as like 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", something like that. So anyway, let's get into the video. I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to one to 2,000 likes. So first off, you can see we have a lot of like 84, 80, 80, 86, 86, 86, 80, 80, 85. Like I said, I hope this pertains to a lot of you guys who are watching the video. And yes, we have every SIG. We'll have it on a different slideshow because I just wanted to make it easy to be able to see them all. As like you can see, I just had it in the notes section. And I hope you do appreciate this. Obviously, you guys know if you've watched the channel, I love to just give you guys everything on paper, and I'll talk about it and break it down. And you can take what you want from it. If you want my explanation on it, feel free to stick around for those, or if you want to just take the SIGs and apply it straight to your build and test them out for yourself, feel free to. But anyway, first off, we have the SIG size ups. Garland, super comboable, and Drew Holiday, really good as far as like a couple of variety of different animations you get out of it, whether it's down diagonal or regular kind of on the stick. And I'll show you guys all these animations in game as well, or not in game, but in the my court, that I just want to maybe be able to show you how to piece them together a little bit. And obviously y'all know me, I'm not like a super comp guard or anything like that, but I understand the inner workings of a lot of like why to do certain moves like this. So moving past the regular breakdown combo, I just have Marbury on this. It's just, in my opinion, what's the best. I'm also not sure if that's a starter for animation, but either way, regular breakdown combo is mid in the first place. I don't really recommend utilizing it too much. What is well worth using though is the Devin Booker aggressive breakdown combo. This is a really good move to get you moving forward and downhill from a standstill position. And if you're familiar with like the Russell Westbrook crossover, and how if you would hold RT and flick up on the right stick back in 2K23, this is not the same animation, but it is very similar to it, and it resembles a lot of it. Now, it's not as dominant by any means. You can't pull it back or any of the modifications that you used to do back in 23, but still very good. Something really good to have in your bag, if you ask me. Moving on. Escape moves, we don't have a lot of great options for the super low threshold ones, so the 80 ball handle guys, I am leaving you hanging a little bit. It's unfortunate there's not a whole lot to work with the escape moves. I would recommend, even though I didn't show it in there here, Chris Paul, for those of you who have like 80 ball handle, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you can get with it, and it's not anything crazy, but it can get the job done. But Ja and Booker, really good at getting sideways. Booker is almost way too good at getting sideways. I'm really not a fan of it myself, but I know there's a lot of people out there that would like it. Ja Morant, very, just side to side with the escape moves. Good for crabbing people, stuff like that. Good for just moving, like I said, left and right with the movements. So next up, we have combo moves. Ja, really, really good. You see a lot of comp pro-am point guards using stuff like this, like Joe, for instance, especially in the 5 outs. It's really good at putting moves together, and then you can do like certain, different moves off of it. So let's say like a snatchback. It's a little bit more, complex to actually do stuff like this. To do this, you just flick up diagonal and up diagonal again to your offhand twice. So it'd be like if the ball's in your left hand, you're flicking it up right, then back up left right away. So long story short, it's not a super crazy, consistently used move in the community, but for those who are aware of it, it's very used. But anyway, moving along. Crossover, this is another one that's a little bit tough to get like the best animations for. Like De'Aaron Fox is not only starter 4 locked, but it's also 89 ball handle. Same with like LaMelo Ball is pretty good as well, but it's like 91 ball handle. So what we have for some solutions is Lonzo crossover, Zach LaVine crossover, and Donovan Mitchell. Now, I'll give you a couple of explanations on what these all kind of do as far as the 3 of them. So Lonzo is fast and twitchy, if I had to give a word for it. LaVine is slow, kind of more, it's more like side to side movement. If you guys have seen the really cringe stuff you see on 2s where people just use a crossover to kind of crab you and it flips the ball hand and you just can't get back in front of them, it's really good at just getting people stuck behind you, if you will, when you get past them on a drive. Then Donovan Mitchell, very good like horizontal movement. It's not much of a downhill crossover when moving downhill, ironically, but what it will do is flip your ball hand and get you moving really to the side, and it's 85 requirement as well. So not anything super crazy on there, but now we have a lot of the good value ones right here, and I'm talking elite value. So behind the back, Garland, one of the best ones in the game. The only thing you could argue it over it is Trae Young, and that's 92 ball handle requirement. So resorting to the Darius Garland behind the back can be very valuable. It's a really good animation, and one of the, like I said, best in the game. Simple. Now, it's not great at moving downhill, though. What is good at moving downhill is Pro, and Pro isn't terrible using standstill either. So I'll get into my court and explain the inner workings of like the very simple mechanic of doing behind the back if those of you out here who are watching are very novice and very don't know how to even do that. But I'm sure most of you guys out here know how to do it behind the back at this point. And Garland, like I said, great animation as far as like giving the side-to-side movement in the pick and roll, or even just for ISO and stuff like that as well. And then Pro, still good in my opinion as well, even though it's only a 70 requirement. And I know it sucks we don't have something more for the people who have like the 81 ball handle or something like that, but I think Pro is just naturally what you're gonna have to settle with, in my opinion. Hezi, we have Kobe White. This is a very good one. Really good at just getting to your ball hand and, like, you know, once again for crabs and stuff like that, or to set up the behind the back, because that's ironically, if you don't know how to do the behind the back, you have to do one move first, then do the behind the back. And in most cases, being able to just do it to your ball hand and then instantly go to the behind the back is really convenient. And Hezi is kind of the move that, you know, segues into the behind the back more often than not. So Kobe White, 85, really good. Chris Paul and Rondo are your kind of like, if you really have to settle for it, animations. They're not even terrible for that matter, but it's not Kobe White, in my opinion. It's one of the best in the game as far as the headies for going for the Kobe one. But anyway, step back. Speaking of the best animation in the game, arguably, literally the best animation in the game, Zach LaVine's step back. You guys have seen that snatchback animation plenty of times, and all three of these are literally the best three in the game, and they're of good value. So Luka works the same way, where if you hold RT and flick down on your right stick, it'll just snatch the ball back. Same goes for the Zach LaVine, but it's a lot more vertical. Like, you can get back further, but it's a little bit slower to get to, like, gather, if you will. Like, you won't be able to run out of the animation quickly, whereas Luka does it a little bit faster. Now, Halliburton is a different type of animation, where it's kind of more so for dribbling side to side, and I'll get to that in just a second as well, but understand that it's definitely different than these two right here. And then for hop jumpers, we have Clarkson and Lowry. Clarkson you can get as long as you're below 6'10". Lowry, you have to be 6'4" or shorter. And then go-to shot, Ja Morant, also 6'4" or shorter. So again, I know this video is very niche and it doesn't speak to everybody in the game or anything like that. We didn't really address the bigs of the world. If you want to see the SIGs on the big, I already showed you that in the most recent video of the 6'10". And if you want to, you know, understand the good value of like 75 and below as far as those ball handle requirements, feel free to check that out as well. But this right here is more for the guards out there, and that's why I say, you know, even the hop jumpers and go-to shots, they're important to know, and we'll get to that right now. All right, so these are all the SIGs that we have right here. I will not be doing any like screen overlays or anything like that. I just want you guys to, you know, I'll just explain what we're looking at as far as like as soon as we get into actually doing the move. So a lot of these that I have on currently are my favorites for each. So for instance, we have the Darius Garland SIG size up. Now, I will recommend that I think speed with ball, while I do believe ball handle is good to budget, speed with ball is very important. I really do believe that you guys need 86 plus, because as you can see, this is the dribble style that you get for it, and man, it is so good with that Darius Garland. I mean, it's quite literally the best dribble style in the game, and to get it at 86 speed with ball is a really good idea, if you ask me. Now, as far as some of the best SIGs in the game, you guys already know this for the most part if you've played this game. Zach LaVine snatchback right here, absolutely one of the best SIGs in the game. I mean, you can literally do this, run off it quickly. You can do this again, run off it quickly, and, you know, pull it back and be able to shoot it. It's just good usage everywhere you want to use it, and it's just super valuable. Now, as far as the other SIGs that we have, you can see this is Darius Garland SIG size up right here. Very comboable, as you can see. In some cases, you can see I actually accidentally did the combo moves, and that's the Ja Morant stuff that I showed you. But overall, I would say this is pretty comboable. You kind of have to do a little bit more sideways rather than the up diagonal that I was doing right here. Like right here, I'm kind of screwing it up. But either way, it's still pretty comboable, if you ask me. Now, what I also like about the Darius Garland SIG size up is this little factor right here that you can do, where it's the down diagonal, and it backs you up while doing it. Now, I know it looks stupid in terms of a combo, but let's say you just hit one and go, boom, that's like a down diagonal and run, down diagonal and run. I like that it kind of moves you back just a little bit if you want to have that type of control over it. Whereas, like I said, you could just, let's say, flick it one time to the ball hand while doing it a little bit more up diagonal or directly to the side, and boom, there you go. You know, you're able to just kind of sprint downhill really quickly or to the side really quickly. But anyway, besides that, we have the Garland behind the backs. So to do this, all you have to do is just do any move first, then hold RT and flick down diagonal on your right stick to the offhand. So like, for instance, I could do a SIG size up into behind the back. And that was just me flicking, you know, up diagonal like this, and then hold RT and flick down on the right stick, and you would get the actual behind the back animation. Not that, Darius Garland sig size up part right there. But what most people do is they hold RT and do this hezzy right here and then get the behind the back, and you can just instantly get into it, and you can like kind of spam it back and forth as fast as you're able to, and it's pretty dang good at moving, man. I must say, like, I mean, this is very good at getting side to side. We have like another one where it's being good at getting like moving it backwards and stuff like that. The D-Book aggressive breakdown combo is this right here. It looks really good at getting downhill, and then you could, let's say for instance, do an escape move out of that as well. And I believe it's really good usage in terms of like being able to like crab people, get in front of them, and then keep them behind you as well. Now, I'm not here to say that it's like the best animation in the game by any means, but like picture you were to do something like this and then a snatch back off it. It's just good combo in terms of like movement that can go like forward, backwards, stuff like that. And then, like I said, hezzies with the behind the back all implemented. We got the sig size up that you can kind of combo back and forth, or like I said, just the down diagonal for like the good movement of kind of getting you backwards just a little bit. As far as something that's also kind of a cool little nugget for information for you, if you wanted to do this, we have the go-to shot for the Ja Morant, right? And I was getting hit by this by La Monsta early in the year, and this was so annoying to deal with, bro. And what makes it even worse is if you're to go with this D-Book aggressive breakdown combo into the signature go-to shot right there, it is just getting you like downhill. You're almost at the basket by that point. It's really annoying to deal with. So what I will say about these two animations though, they're very bumpable and they're very like fumbleable, if you will. Like if you do this in traffic, it will really like collide with people. It won't like make the ball go loose, but it'll make your player kind of stumble a little bit. Same goes for this the signature go-to shot. And also something you should know about the signature go-to shot, you need to do this toward your dominant hand. So in my case, my player is left-handed. If you were to do this while the ball's in your right hand, you can see it has a load up to it, then it goes into it. So you need to know that in terms of when you're using those hop jump, the go-to shots and stuff like that. What's also well worth using are the hop jumpers. So in this case right here, you can see I have Jordan Clarkson. Now, what's nice about this is you could do, let's for instance, like sig size up and then boom, just like snatch right out of it. So you can see like that animation is really interesting as far as something that you can just kind of combo up with. And all you have to do once again is just do it toward your dominant hand. If you do it to your offhand, it's a little bit more mid, if you ask me. Again, you could do like hezzies into a cancel. You could do like anything that you want and just be able to like, flick it to your dominant hand and boom, there you go. Also, in case you guys didn't know, I'm pairing with NBA 2K Labs again this year. So you can use my code Laker at checkout for 20% off of any subscription link that you decide to go for. Obviously, what you're going to find on here is going to be really useful information that we're showing all across the whole screen right now, but mainly to be talked about is obviously the jump shot data. So the guys are cool enough to let me show you the information from the 2K24 premium jumper data. If you want the access to the 25 year, you'd obviously have to subscribe to their premium and, using my code as well if you would like. But as you can see, like we have them sorted by speed right here. You can sort by every one of these different individual categories right here between the fastest millisecond jump shots. You can sort that by your individual height between the guards, wings, and bigs. You can sort by speed, green window, the early, middle, and late end of the green window as well, and then the total accumulation of all of that. And I mean, that's how I came to the conclusion that Terrence Mann was a really good base last year, combining all that information. Crazy stuff. So again, to be able to find something like this in 25, you would be able to just sign up for the premium. So what you're going to do when you're ready to sign up, you would just come over here and click register with whatever length of subscription you'd like to go for. After you hit register, it'll ask you to put in a promo code. You just put in Laker when you hit apply coupon right here, and boom, you're looking good. With code Laker, you're going to get 20% off your subscription. If you guys would like to help me out, I get a percentage based off your initial purchase only. So a recurring bill, like if you get a 1 month subscription, I only get the 1 month that you sign up for initially, and then anything past that, I don't. So if you do plan to go for like a 3 or a 6 or even a year-long subscription, feel free to just, do that if you want to support me. But I understand not everybody wants to go for that, so it's all good if you don't. Anyway, appreciate you guys for watching. Let's get back to the video. So we pretty much went over everything on the screen right here. If you want to copy any of those SIGs down, feel free to. And like I said, I'm not going to change too many of them, like the aggressive breakdown combo, the regular breakdown combo, stuff like that. Those are the only ones that I really do believe are worth running. But what I am going to do now is switch over to any of the ones that I secondarily thought were pretty good. I won't go to the tertiary ones, like the third of the list. I don't think a lot of those are really worth talking about. But like I said, what I will do is go ahead and flip these. So we're just going to change these to the next set and go ahead and show you what these look like. All right, so please do understand that anything that I've changed here, some of these might like combo better together with any of the previous ones that I just showed. So like for instance, I'm going to be showing you pro behind the back, but like I do believe that Drew Holiday paired with the Garland behind the back, that's like a good combo. You'll see why in just a second as well. But like, like I said, a lot of these, just understand I want to show off the new animation itself. So in that case, it is pro behind the back. We got like the Drew Holiday sig size up. We have the Halliburton step back as well, and the Rondo hezzy. I just want to show you all of these that have like lower requirements and stuff like that, or just are different animations in general. So like Halliburton step back, right? This is one where when you hold RT and flick down on the right stick, it's not giving that, you know, Zach LaVine snatch back where it's like pulling it back super far. What it's doing is switching your ball hand and going really fast, and it's like a misdirection, if you will. So like when someone sees this, they might think that your movement is going to like, you know, the hand that it's switching to, but really you can just misdirect it back the other way. And I think that's a really good animation that is well worth considering if it's your style. You know, it might really be something more for you rather than the Zach LaVine snatchback. But another thing that's really valuable to know about is going to be this Drew Holiday sig size up. So I just showed you the Garland one where it was really comboable, but in this case, you can see the Drew Holiday sig size up right here. This is literally the sig size up. It's not a behind the back animation. It's you flicking down diagonal on your right stick, and all it requires is 75 ball handle. Now, in my opinion, I think this is pretty dang good. I mean, like, you're able to really, like, you know, flick your ball hand and, like, flip the ball just like that, and I think this is really good at just moving in general. Now, you can see it's consuming adrenaline quite a bit because I'm long running off stuff like that, but yeah, I mean, when you think about combining that with a good behind the back animation, you could do like double behind the backs essentially. So like I told y'all, obviously, you know, we have this pro behind the back. It's not exactly the best in the game by any means, and the worst part is you can't stop and shoot right away off it. It's gonna force you to essentially, you know, actually carry out that animation. Now, you could, for instance, quick stop it, which is then, and I know I'm not timing my shot very well. I haven't been on the guard in a long time. Just bear with me on that. I really don't care. But anyway, point being, what you really would want to do then is do the hezzy, right, like this, and then also do the behind the back animation, which is then down diagonal. But then also to quick stop, you have to flick down diagonal again on your right stick with no sprint. So it's a lot to take in, you know, but if you can bear with the comms on that and understand how to do that, you can quick stop and not actually continue that animation. Because what will happen if you let the animation play out too long, if you don't touch your right stick right here, is you will get that drift fade right there. And you don't want that. Obviously, a lot of people are going to prefer your standstill shot. Now, if you shoot the ball quickly, without like, you know, like more so, let's say you're pre-holding your X button. Like right here, I'm holding X through the behind the back and I can get the shot off like, you know, normally. So that's well worth considering that it's something that you can still do without like, you know, worrying about what behind the back animation you have, because that pro behind the back is really not that bad, you know, like when you really think about it. So like combine that with the fact that you can just sit here and like, let's say do the sig size up like Drew Holiday, boom, back and forth. Like this is literally, you can do this with 75 ball handle. Like you can do the behind the back and the sig size up with 75 ball handle. I think that's well worth having if you're talking budget stuff. So not only that, but the Drew Holiday sig size up, you don't have to only do this down diagonal one right here. You can still do this where it's like, let's say, it's not that fast, but as you can see, it's a lot cleaner, if you will. At like, you know, switching the ball hand, you can see the load up time is a little bit worse and it's not something perfect, but for 75 ball handle, that is very, very good. So if it happens to be something that's a little bit more your style, rather than to run the Garland, you know, sig size up, or if you happen to be below 84 ball handle, this is one that I would really think could actually fit really well for you. But again, we already talked about the Zach LaVine snatchback right here as well. I didn't show that Marbury regular breakdown combo, but this is it right here. You can see it has a little backup to it. So a couple, let's say like the early portions of this, you could kind of watch, and just like, you know, launch out of it whenever you want to, if you would prefer to do that. Or what you could do is wait it all out and you get a couple walk back animations right there. So when it comes to the regular breakdown combo right here, you want to just be able to kind of watch and like understand when you want to launch out of it. Like you could do any of them, as you can see, and they're really actually quite good, but you just have to get the timing down on all of them and understand when the ball is going to be in which hand and actually just go. But if you're someone that doesn't like to combo the left stick, the right stick back and forth, or if you wanted that to supplement the fact that you don't have a very comboable, you know, sig size up right here, like Holiday, I mean, actually for that matter, is pretty fast on the combo, to be fair, but it's not great in terms of just flicking one and go, you know. It does have a better combo speed, but not like the first sig size up. And I understand, fellas, I'm a little bit of a novice when it comes to dribbling, so I apologize if you know, my explanations are a little bit novice on it, but maybe that speaks to you as a player a little bit more as well. Now, one thing that is really good in pick and roll movement in this game, if you ask me, is this Kyle Lowry hop jumper right here. Now check this out. The reason I think this is so good is it covers so much ground while also not burning any adrenaline. So what's just so cheese about it is the fact that you can do this all around the court, and yes, it does burn stamina, obviously, but as long as you long run it, not long enough to actually be an adrenaline loss, because as you can see, if I, let me get the adrenaline, or the stamina back, and I'll just show you. Because if I was to, let's say, want to set up for a long run and pick and roll, right, and I just hit a hezi and run, you can see this is going to burn adrenaline very quickly. Like, I'm talking just a couple of, like, steps of movement, more than, like, maybe 2 of them is going to burn the adrenaline. You can be very conservative with it, but, like I said, in most cases, you're going to burn adrenaline very quickly, and to do the hop jumper instead when you kind of reach that point of the long run where you can kind of cancel the adrenaline being lost, I think that's really worth having, because for a lot of the pick and roll guard movements and stuff like that, this is so good, bro. I cannot stress enough how, like, just to be able to, you know, move to your ball hand quickly off doing this as well. Like, bro, if you're coming out here and you have a high 3-pointer, you could literally fade from 3 just off having such low ball handle, because all you have to do is just, let's say, you know, do the Zach LaVine snatch back, D-Book aggressive breakdown combo. You have a couple good sig size ups like this, and let me back out real quick and talk to you guys about the ones that actually matter for a second. So I know we're trying to give you a lot of animations to play with and stuff like that, but here's the ones that truly matter if you want to be a good pick and roll movement guy. And a lot of these can be very important if you're like just an ISO player, but for PNR movement, Kyle Lowry hop jumper, so important. It's so good. You know, let's say the sig size ups, whether it's the Drew Holiday for setting up for those little behind the back ones, or if you wanted to go Garland for a lot more of like a comboable and just fast. And for those who have 86 or 85, 84 ball handle, I really would recommend Garland for sure. But other than that, I think the other really important ones to know are definitely the step back animations. So like for instance, the, you know, Zach LaVine or the Halliburton, or if you really want Luka, you could do this as well. Here's what it looks like. It's a pretty good snatchback animation. It's literally just a better Zach LaVine in some cases for people who want to dribble out of it quickly. I think for those who want to get more like pullback length, if you will, Zach LaVine is a better animation. But yeah, then Halliburton, if you would like to set up really well with being able to, you know, just move to your ball hand and stuff like that, just be a fast dribbler, if you will. But yeah, for the most part, I think those are the must-haves. Obviously, we got to talk about Garland. You got to have this dribble style if you're trying to play good as a guard in this game. And the beauty of it is, if you're 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", you can get it easily. And it's very affordable for that matter too, because your speed's already going to be high anyway. So it pulls your speed with ball up quite a bit. So for like you lockdowns out there, I think making a lock build that's 6'4", 6'3", that also has Garland dribble style is just insanely good in this game. It's such good value, bro. It's insane. But anyway, yeah, Kyle Lowry hop jumper, well worth having as well. So a lot of these, I just wanted to give you guys some options, things to play with. Feel free to, you know, check them out and like test them out yourself. Put any different types of combinations together as well. Or like what I would just want to maybe leave this video off on to actually show you real quick is to actually pair that sig size up with the behind the back together. So like I want to show you this with an actual good behind the back. So boom, like this is literally, you could be doing a sig size up into a behind the back and just literally spam this back and forth. And mind you, all you need for this is quite literally, you know, 84 ball handle, and that's capable of doing movements like that. So again, just want to give you some options. I know I've reiterated that a lot, and we can just leave the video off on that, but feel free to combo these any which way you want and just test them all out for yourself. So anyway, that's all for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all that good stuff, and like always, try to win to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put SIG in the comments, just purchase my way through. And again, one last time, for those who are just looking for the numbers and stuff like that, here's all the requirements for them, and you know, just a couple of lists to go off of. You could screenshot it, you can come back to the video, whatever you'd like to do. So just wanted to help you guys out there who are interested in the Apollo / Bonnie type builds, because we've been really repping those on the channel recently, and I truly do believe in them. They're elite builds. And with the fact that you can move so well with such low ball handle is really good. If you guys have any additions to this that you'd like to add that are 86 ball handle and below, feel free to let me know. I'll let Bonnie and Apollo know as well, and we can, me and the two of them have really been conferring with each other about like which SIGs are the best, you know, like what to get when you have such a low ball handle. Apollo being the one with 81 and Bonnie being the one with 86. It's like you really get a couple of different dynamics as to which of them prefer to do what. Apollo resorts to that hop jumper a lot more because of the lack of having 86 ball handle, for instance, because there are a lot of these SIGs that do, you know, require the 86 ball handle and stuff like that, but it's still plenty doable with the 80 in some cases as well. So I know I didn't get to the crossovers. You can test these out for yourself. It's just a lot of stuff for, you know, the video, and it's already been kind of long. So feel free to check out the crossovers, the behind the backs, downhill. Just know pro is really good. Garland's really bad when you're talking like downhill movements. But anyway, that's all. Hope you all enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.